What's up, guys? It's Demented Caliber here, chilling with S13 the Beast. He's in a new room.
I am.
He made him a little. He kind of took my idea and made him his own little area.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't live with many people, so I don't have to do that.
That's true. I
so I'm coming back a lip of Grizzly Long Cut, Dark Select, and yeah, Dark Select. And Beast has got his dead rabbit on hand.
Dead rabbit.
Fuck it.
You're gonna make me. It's like every time I hear dead rabbit, that's what I hear now. It's just,
Dead rabbit.
dead rabbit.
Fuck
All
it.
right, so as you can tell by the title, we're coming to talk about mental health awareness.
Yes.
And a lot of this, I'm not gonna lie, is correlating to an old member of ours and what we actually are talking about this. So I think we should start or explain the reason why we're talking about this. So when we had a member named Motor. Motor was a good guy. He really was.
He's a good guy.
But he had this little thing about him. It was like sort of like follow the leader.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, he would do some weird stuff. We'll go ahead and talk about that. So when did you find he first started getting really weird?
Oh, who are you talking to?
Uh, Either one of you.
I mean, I noticed that he was like what bothered people. I guess. I mean, like to me, it was I kind of seen what was kind of going on. I guess. So I started noticing it around. People started wanting to be in the, especially the because we had a majority when we were first starting out with Storm 13 when we actually became like an actual group. I know there was you guys already was Storm, but when it became a group, there was a majority of female members, and they stopped wanting to be in calls with them. They would actually leave our group meetings and stuff that we actually used to have back in the day. Um, and
Now it's just a bunch of us being lazy sitting on Skype. So
I mean, now it's just now we're just hanging out. But before it was actually like we actually got on there where we would talk about things, even broadcasting back in the day. But anyway, I mean, we still do, but it's just more of a friend thing now instead of being an actual like regiment group thing.
yeah, it's
But
like we no see what it is now is it's not necessarily like it's like a family more or less. It still is a family,
mm,
but we tend to bring outside people.
yeah,
And well, some of the reasons why I do that is because when, all right, say it's a female, we're just gonna dive off topic here for a second. Say it's a female,
right,
she vapes, she needs help with a mod. Well, the only two experts in that field are me and Beast, mainly me,
right, mm,
because I've, I've had a lot of issues with mods, tanks, and so on and so forth. So I've been through that route. Actually, hang on, I'm presenting you. Let me stop presenting you. All right, so I've had a lot of what the fuck was that?
What?
bleh.
That noise.
Ah, that was me laying on my pinched nerve.
Oh,
I'm a disaster over here. I have this
Yeah,
on my
she's a
wrist because I
disaster.
can't bend it without it hurting.
ooh,
And yeah.
I didn't even notice that, babe.
I
I
didn't necessarily.
just put it on because I seriously cannot move my damn wrist right now. It hurts so bad. I don't
Mm-mm.
know what I did. It
I thought we.
hurts so
But back to what I was saying. So, say it's a female, she's having issues with her vape. Well, the only two people that know a lot about that is me and Beast. Beast's been vaping for 7 years. I've been vaping for a year, and I've had a lot of issues with certain mods like the GX350, the Smock Alien, RX 200. Well, it was actually 2.3, but essentially it was the RX 200. It's just designed differently. And one of the things I do have to say is as far as like talking to females outside of like the group chat goes, I don't have a problem with like messaging females, but being in an actual Skype call alone with a female just it kind of puts me on edge because it's like, what the fuck is she like? What's going on?
Mhm.
So I typically try to bring them into the group calls.
Right.
Like you can ask Beast over here. I don't even like being alone in the call with his wife.
That is true. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
uneasy
Yeah.
on.
Well, I
Don't get me
totally.
wrong, I love Manson to death. I will say this. I love her to death, but I just don't feel comfortable being alone with a female knowing that I'm in a relationship.
Right. Right. Which is totally understandable. I mean, I kind of I know exactly how you feel in that situation.
And as we've seen from prior events, there's been females trying to break me and Taro up.
Right.
That was a fun time.
Oh yeah, I don't want to do it again.
I'm good.
But back on topic, I guess. We're kind of getting like
Yeah.
in screwy land. But
Well,
which
this
is
we don't have
perfectly
to
fine.
worry because it automatically uploads, so we can go as
Oh.
far off topic as we want.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Yay, technology. But
Yay, technology.
but that was basically what that's when I started noticing it. Was when we had a bigger demographic of female
Yeah.
members on our group.
And one thing I do have to say, I don't know why I kept bringing fucking females in.
Because you a hoe. I'm kidding.
Because you a hoe. No, I think it's
I don't
because
know. Maybe it's just a protective instinct in me. I really don't know.
Guys
or it's
gravitate to girls. Girls gravitate to guys. That's how it works.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
like
all females
here's
that
my thing.
gravitated toward me.
Well, I mean, like here's what it is. I don't really have a lot of male friends. I do. I mean, I have like a bunch of them, but it gets overshadowed by how many female friends I actually have. I've been always it's always easier to talk to a female being a dude, I guess, and then
Yeah.
vice versa. So I don't think there's anything. I don't think anybody thinks anything of it. I mean, like
No.
they shouldn't because it's pretty normal. To be honest.
Yeah, but no, well, like I was saying, Beast, I'm getting off topic again.
I will. Yeah.
We can go far off topic as we want because I don't have to do any editing or anything.
It's just a
So,
pain in the ass for anyone watching, but
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's a screwy topic, but no, proceed on what you were saying, Beast.
That's when I noticed everything going on. That's when I started noticing it, and then it got to a point to where there was a situation we had where
Taro can
Taro,
explain like in detail if she wants.
I'll get
yeah,
there. I don't even know what we're talking right now. I'm looking for.
this is about the whole simple Mandy ordeal, but she caught him looking at her because you can kind of, I mean, if you're at a Skype call, anybody who's been in a Skype call, you can kind of tell where their eye focalizes. You can tell when somebody's looking at themselves, or you can tell when they're looking at like what part of the camera, and because you can follow their eyes. Just something you do. Anyway,
Yeah.
She so happened to have gotten up, and there was a reaction to her getting up to where he was looking at her anus. I guess would be the
That sounds
unattractive.
so worse.
That was horrible. That was horrible. That
I was
Let
expecting
Taro
like
explain it.
posterior out of you, honestly.
I don't know. I was trying to be scientific, and it came out totally wrong. It did.
You're staring directly at her anus.
It's like through the cheeks. It's just like
right to the anus, right? But that, I mean, he was staring hard is basically what I was trying to get at, but I mean, it just didn't.
he was there like he thought he had some X-ray vision. Put it that way.
And that was the first instance that we, as a group, let him go. Actually, we didn't even think we were going to bring him back, to be honest, at that point.
Okay. I would just like to say this, like I've said it a couple times. The only reason he was brought back is because of me, because I kind of felt bad, but at the same time, I was like I like him. Like he's a sweet guy, but
Right.
he's just a dick. Well, he's not a dick. He's just He thinks was his dick.
That's the problem.
And then a second time was something with an ordeal, which this was probably be more better if you actually explained it and me not try to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Let's
Before
not relive the anus thing.
go back to the Mandy thing real quick. I wanted to clarify that none of us I don't even remember what the fuck I was doing. Taro said I was playing guitar.
I
Yeah.
wasn't even in the call.
Okay, almost everyone looked. Okay, I looked. This is how I know what she was wearing. I looked, but I wasn't staring. Like there's the casual like look. Sorry, I'm having like some real issues. It's been a long time since I've had to deal with my
Well,
wrist
this
hurting.
is a casual look. It's just like, okay.
Right. Like, there's a skim notice.
It's not like
there's like a.
This isn't a casual look. This is staring. This is me staring.
That's creepy on anyone's level. Oh, there we go. Now I figured out how to do it. Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie. I think I probably did glance like once.
Probably.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going back to playing guitar now.
Yeah.
I don't even think I was in this call because I think I was told about it like later in passing.
I think you were too. I'm pretty sure you were off, probably being a parent or something. There we go.
It's either that
No,
or
I think he was working out.
Yeah, I think I was.
Yeah, you were working out because I was
Oh
before
yeah, that's right.
Working out in the calls.
Right. I went to go work out, and then when I got out, that's when everybody's like, this is what happened." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Yeah.
But moving on.
So, this is where I have to explain something, and this is where kind of the title comes in. I experienced something called disassociation. I experience it in a couple of different ways. I experience normal disassociation, memory disassociation, and identity disassociation disorder. Ayla, please shut up. I'm gonna close my door. That cat. The regular disassociation and the memory disassociation are unimportant at this point in time. They're just unimportant to the story. So if you're not familiar with identity dissociation disorder, it is basically the proper term for multi-personality disorder, or it's one of the terms for it, for a different level of multi-personality disorder, where you disassociate from your environment and you take on a different personality, or you kind of go on autopilot. So this happened, and he got really weird. He started acting out, and he was not responsive. I don't really remember a lot of this, so a lot of this is what I was told, and just the fragments of memory that I can gather from trying really hard to remember it.
Well, can I interject real quick?
Yeah.
So, I treat her personalities, her alternate personalities, as their own.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular personality could not speak. But I can look at this personality's facial expression. She was getting really scared.
Right.
And that's when I said, Motor, you either straighten the fuck up or I'm dropping you. And needless to say, I had to drop it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he was acting erratically, and so
Reptilian.
After the disassociation episode was over, we brought him into a group call, and we were like, okay, what the fuck just happened? And he was like, oh, like, that happens sometimes. Like, it's normal for me. Like, and we're like, okay, well, why didn't you mention it? And he's like, well, I didn't want to, like, freak anyone out or anything like that. And it's like, well, you knew about this with me, and it just kind of seemed like you took a situation and we're trying to make it about you. And he swore up and down that no, this happened to him all the time. We had never seen it happen. So, whatever, we let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So this next situation that comes around, so we all joke with each other. We call each other names. Some of us more than others.
Well, shouldn't we mention the shirt thing?
If you want to mention the shirt thing, you can go right ahead, but I'm not doing it.
I think it adds into
So-
from us.
I'm just saying.
I have a flannel jacket, and this was when I was on vacation in Missouri. I have a flannel jacket that I wore up there. Really nice jacket. Besides the point, it got so cold in the room, I had to put it on, and Tara had happened to notice that I looked really good in flannel. Very attractive. I think you said, didn't you say you look sexy in flannel or some shit like that? Yeah, she was completely Googling me, googly eyed.
I have a
But
thing.
Motor hears this. Fucker goes, I'm sorry to call him fucker. I call everybody fucker. But he goes into his closet and pulls out a flannel shirt with cut off, like Larry the Cable Guy.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Tara, we kind of look at each other and we're like, what the fuck? So I dropped him and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, we got to talk to Beast about this.
Mm-hmm.
Which Beast had talked to him on that one, but that just kind of pissed me off, the fact that he would do that after she said I looked attractive. It was almost like he was trying to one up me.
Right.
And his argument for that was he does it all the time, which, thinking back on it, yeah, he often matched shirts with Alpha, which was kind of weird in its own way, but like he didn't
even
go
going back
and
to the whole
put
T-Pro
on.
thing.
Hey, I'm talking.
I thought we.
He didn't go and put on that shirt after he saw Alpha wearing it. It was specifically after I made a comment about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it's like when I got the T-Pro, Motors like, yeah, I'm gonna upgrade to the T-Pro. It's like the only reason you want the T-Pro is because I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, be original.
Yep.
So
Again,
anyway,
that's where we kind of get the idea, and this is something that I just noticed, and this is what I was bringing up to them. He has a follow leader mentality, is what he mentioned earlier, and it's I don't think he realizes he doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe
Well,
he
I think
does.
Carol wants to talk about this last incident. Then you can.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Oh,
Oh yeah. So we're all friends in here, at least. I would hope that we've spent this much time together and we're friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, me and you are.
Well, you guys are more. I don't think that's.
Well, we're friends too.
Yeah, you are my best friend.
Talk about my best friend. Sorry.
By the way, guys,
Like
give me a second. I want to show them the ring that you sent me. So, guys, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but this is the ring Harley or Taro sent me. It's titanium. I still have my tungsten ring. The reason I am wearing this is because it fits me a lot better.
Yeah.
Has it got comfort fit? I always wanted to know that. I know it's off topic, but since
I don't know if it's comfort. I don't, half the time I don't know what it's on. So
nice.
But I do believe this ring is comfort fit though, because it's
with the bevel.
It's smooth and it's rounded.
Yeah, that's what. So we all make fun of each other. We call each other's names. Some of us more than others. But it comes to the territory. We're all horrible people in our own way. I need to stop using this hand. It actually really fucking hurts. I would love to know what I've done to it. I'm left-handed now. It's fine. I'm ambidextrous, but not the point, Tara.
It just looks weird.
Oh.
It looks weird you doing shit with your left hand.
I am ambidextrous. I mean,
yeah, but I've always seen you use your right hand, so.
I know, but I just choose not to use my left hand. Actually, I'm gonna go off topic for a minute. There's been times like in classes or like presentations or whatever, I'll just fuck people up, and I'll just start writing with my left hand. They're like, "What?" I just look at them and I'm like, what? You never heard of an ambidextrous bitch before? They're like, I literally had someone tell me I thought ambidextrous people were a myth.
Oh.
Because
I always want to be it.
My right hand.
I can't use my left hand with a jack. I swear to God.
And it was
bad.
a student, I believe, in my grade 11 English lit class, and I like they were sitting here and they kept putting their fucking binder over my desk, and it was pissing me off, and they kept like pushing it off, and I just gave up and I just started writing with my left hand, and they looked at me and they're like, I thought ambidextrous people were a myth. For the record, and I am proud of this, but I'm not proud of this. I looked at them and went, oh, I'm not ambidextrous, I'm a witch. Their face went really pale. It was hilarious. Not the point. This is all very off topic.
Yeah. Well, I'm sort of ambidextrous. I can use mouse with my right hand. I've never used my left hand. And I can also sort of open a knife with my right hand. It's a work in progress.
So,
but continuing back on to topic.
Right. I think you were putting more on.
So regardless, we all call each other names. We all use incredibly vulgar language. And my favorite word in the world is cunt. That's just, it comes with the territory of the group chat. Everyone knows that. I mean, I think we've apologized to a couple people for our language, and they're like, no, you guys are fucking awesome. Like, that's how that conversation goes.
Usually.
So he started, the one day, I don't even remember what Elphys said, but I guess Motor got triggered. And, he was like, just so you know, like, the word retard is, like, a trigger word for me. And he was getting, like, overly aggressive. So he was, like, dropped from the call. And then he came back and he was like, what exactly did he say? Beast, you heard him. He said something about, like, I was fucking joking, or...
Yeah, I was fucking joking. Can't you guys take a joke or something like that?
Yeah, it was, something
in that... Something, yeah.
Yeah, well, both Beast and Taro knew that, I'm not even going to promote myself because I was just talking. Both Beast and Taro know that I'm not the person to joke around with.
Not really. And, like, it goes back to the whole, why didn't you say anything beforehand?
Right.
So we brought him into a group call, and because I was thinking about it, and I was like, how come this incident that supposedly happened when I disassociated has never happened again? Like, he's in the group calls every day for hours, and I've disassociated many times in the group calls, and just no one typically notices, because my two most common disassociations, I only have 3, so my 2 most common ones, one sounds British and the other one pretty much sounds like me, only manic.
More aggressive.
Yeah, more aggressive and such.
Which I know when you disassociate to the British one.
Well, yeah. I can't do a good British accent for shit.
Yeah, but besides the point.
Yeah. So, so I was like, well, why isn't this happening again? So we decided we were gonna ask. Just general, like, conversation. Like, bring him in, talk to him, let him cool down first, and then, like, bring him in and, like, just be like, okay, what the hell is going on? Like, you got so aggressive, you've never mentioned this before, and this other thing has never happened before. Like, what's with that? So I bring him in, and he's like, oh, it only happens, like, when other people go weird or whatever. Or like, oh, so you act out when you don't know what's going on. He's like, yeah, basically. So, I don't know, I felt very lied to, because, like, in the other conversation, he had said that it happened all the time and that it was normal. But now he's saying that it only happens when weird shit happens around him.
Yeah,
I'm losing my train of thought. Someone take over.
Well, I was wanting to interject that.
Hey, hang on, Beast. Let me stop presenting tarot.
Okay, what I wanted to put in there was he which I don't like the word myself normally. I don't think anybody does. I mean, like we're not promoting the word or anything.
It
We're just
doesn't
saying.
bother me.
Well, the it's I mean, it doesn't bother me either because it's just something of what it is. But it bothers me to a point where I'm not trying to be offensive with it. It's like I don't think any of us are trying to be offensive when we use the word retarded. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because Motor himself is the one that originally called himself that, and it became a running joke within the group, and that's where that came from. So when he said that that was a trigger word for him, it's like that was something you called yourself. This is something that we just kind of went along with because you're the one that called yourself that. Now, I'm not saying that was how he opened videos. That was something that just was kind of came along, and that wasn't him that came up said it himself. But in a group calls, he called himself that. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And I just use it for his opening.
Right, and that was just something. That's because, again, in the group calls, that's what he called himself. So I mean, that's just we didn't think anything of it. That's what I was really basing it off of. But anywho, uh,
And
um,
it poses a very good point because if all this shit is just now coming up, it's like, what else is he holding from us?
Yeah.
right. This is where I stem into where I. This is my theory, I guess. You know, take it or leave it as you will, anybody. How just by knowing the guy, I've always thought he was. Generally, I think he's a good guy. Um, I think that he. I don't know if he knows or doesn't know what he is. I would like to think he doesn't know that it's happening. But he has that follow leader mentality, is what we're getting at. And he takes what somebody basically idols after, which would be Alpha in this instance. It's been that way since the beginning of the group. Um,
Well, no, he took some of the things from tarot, like the dissociation, uh, or panic attacks, and so on and so forth.
Oh, I forgot about that. That made me so angry.
Would you like to talk about that, Beck?
yeah,
Actually, I would. So
yeah, I'm lost at that point. Yeah, go ahead.
you can Google the symptoms of a panic attack, and it's typically like heavy breathing, rocking back and forth, whatever. But like, I've watched a lot of people have panic attacks. I've watched a couple people fake panic attacks. I not very proud of it, but I've faked panic attacks to like get out of situations where it was gonna happen anyway. Um, I'm not exactly proud of it, but I mean like I've done it. Um, and I've also experienced way too many, like it would be impossible to count how many panic attacks I've had because I've had panic attacks since I was a really small kid. It was to the point where like I didn't know that they were panic attacks. I just knew that like I started like heavy breathing, I couldn't speak. I was crying, shaking, rocking back and forth, and I basically just locked myself in a closet until I felt better.
Mm-hmm.
And my ex experienced panic attacks as well. Like I have a panic disorder. Like when a psychiatrist writes out whatever, like they pull up my file, it's something separate from anxiety and depression. I have a panic disorder to the point where when I hit my head at work and my manager asked me if I wanted an ambulance, I said no because I'd have a panic attack in the ambulance. When I go to the hospital and they take my blood pressure, I have to look at them and tell them I'm fine, I'm just terrified because I'm panicking. And like the time I spent in the hospital, my heart rate's always extremely elevated. My blood pressure is skyrocketed. But until they put me in a room alone and something like fully triggers it, like I'm always teetering when I'm in a hospital. Which is why when I go to triage, I look at them and go, I have a panic disorder and I'm scared of hospitals. And they don't leave me alone, pretty much. Like they leave me in a room with other patients, or they they leave me in a room with other nurses. They don't leave me alone, because if I panic alone, I could really hurt myself. You got to imagine all the stuff that's in a hospital.
Yeah.
I also, like, I experienced so bad of panic attacks that I completely black out, and I don't typically remember a lot. So, Motor has a panic attack. And I put it in air quotes because he was rocking back and forth, breathing heavily, and talking normally. Everyone in this call has experienced a panic attack. Can you talk normally?
No, you can't.
No.
Beast?
No.
Not
Can't. The only, like, what I try to talk, like, I already naturally have a stutter that I'm constantly thinking about to try and overcome. When I panic, and when I truly have a panic attack, it comes out gasping, and in my head I'm screaming, but the words that come out are barely audible. And he was speaking very normally, and, like, for him, like, obviously he has a natural stutter, but he was speaking normally. He was just heavy breathing, and he was rocking back and forth. He wasn't, like, for me, I cry. For me, I shake. Like, those are my personal things. Like, not everyone's going to cry. Not everyone's going to shake. But a very, very common symptom of having a panic attack is you can't talk. Or when you talk, it's just, like, this gasping. Because having a panic attack, which is why it pisses me off so much that someone would fake it, and I mean, again, I have, but I'm open and honest about it. Yeah, I'm a shitty person. I've totally.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Have at any point you thought I was faking a panic attack?
No.
Or could you legitimately tell that I was that one night I had a panic attack?
Yeah, no, you can legitimately tell that you're completely panicking. Here's why, like, I call myself a shitty person for faking a panic attack, and here's why I hate it when people do it so badly. When you have a panic attack, you legitimately feel like you're dying.
Oh, you do.
It feels like nothing's gonna get better. It feels like you can't breathe. It feels like you are going to die. And it is the most terrifying experience I've ever experienced. Like, I experienced this association. I will leave my house. I will forget everything that happened that day, and I will reassociate at home already. I remember leaving for work, and now I'm home. I remember nothing. That's terrifying. More terrifying is being in your own body and not being able to control it, and freaking out, and being irrational, and, like, trying to scream for help, and nothing but this gasping, gurgling noise comes out. Like, it is so scary to have a panic attack, and anyone that tells you that it isn't is either really fucking lucky or a liar. So he starts, like, my ex used to fake panic attacks constantly. I only ever saw him actually have 2, and he was a mess. But I saw him fake a lot of them, because when he had those 2 panic attacks, he realized that he could use it to get out of things. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't very good at faking them. So he starts, like, rocking back and forth, and everyone's like, oh, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, he's having a panic attack. But it was so obviously fake. Like, oh, it just made me angry.
Yeah. Well, he just makes me angry in general, so. Oh, you're getting the hang of it. I'm blowing it out the side now.
I've been doing that for a long time.
I've never noticed it.
No? It's fun. I like doing it. I go.
You can actually quickly do that, blow out, and then suck in, and then you pull in more vapor.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, back on topic. So I think I'll go ahead and talk a little bit. Because me and Hero, aside from, like, the dissociative thing, I have that sometimes, not all the times, but I've felt that way. But as far as I go, we both have depression. We both have anxiety disorder. I don't know if she's bipolar.
Undiagnosed.
You're diagnosed with it?
No, I've not been diagnosed with being bipolar.
Okay, so and this isn't like a fucking dick measuring competition to see who has the most problems.
Okay, well, let's have a dick measuring competition for a minute. I have OCPD, PTSD, identity dissociation disorder. We're just going to group all the dissociations together, so we're going to take those three and group them in there. I have a panic disorder. I have an anxiety disorder, and I have chronic depression.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I don't know. What would I be classified as OCD considering I like things in a particular order?
That's OCPD.
Okay.
OCD is when it is a complete compulsion where you cannot stop yourself from doing a certain thing.
All right, so I do have OCPD, right?
Yeah, that's obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Everyone has a certain extent of it. It's when it gets like a little worse. Like for instance, like it drives. If I know that like if I walk past the water bowls and like they're out of place or something like that, it'll eat away at me until I fix it. That's OCPD. OCD is when you turn off a light and you have to flick it 4 times before you leave a room.
Okay.
OCD is not. I'm gonna say it. Is not being able to like turn your body a certain way. Is not being able to. Don't look at me like that. It's not being able to step on cracks. Like it's stuff like that. Like it's stuff that like you physically cannot do it or not do it.
Yeah.
Like for example, one of my cousins, when he grabs a doorknob, he has to twist it twice to the left and then once to the right before he can open it.
Okay, then.
He physically cannot use doorknobs that push down. Someone has to open the door for him.
Oh, he'd hate the house I live in then, because we have that. But no, back to dick measuring competition. So yes, I do have OCPD, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's one.
I have bipolar, depression, anxiety, ADHD. Dysgraphia actually comes with ADHD.
Well, then
well, because dysgraphia is actually it comes with like a mental disorder.
Hey, if you get to write down dysgraphia, I'm writing down dyslexia, so that puts me at 7.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Okay, so you're at 6.
Are we really
yeah, so you only have one more than.
Well, there we go.
I guess I can. I'm not going to win this, but
well,
I mean, like,
it's a problem.
I don't think there's a winning situation in this, but I mean, I will go on mine. Mine is I do have OCD, and I do have anxiety and depression, and I'm married. So so.
All right, so would you like to know what dysgraphia actually is?
You just said
What?
You said and I'm married.
Oh God. Well, I mean, I'm engaged, so that's close enough. But no, we're not gonna do. But do you want to know what dysgraphia is?
You've told me.
What is that? I don't know what it is.
Oh, you gotta tell him.
We are trying to do an awareness video, so that would actually kind of help too.
Dysgraphia is a learning disability that affects writing abilities. It can manifest itself as difficulties with spelling, poor handwriting, trouble putting thoughts on paper because writing requires a complex set of motor and information processing skills. Saying a student has dysgraphia is not sufficient. But I was diagnosed with it.
When I was in elementary school, I was forced to have a scribe, which was someone who would write down my thoughts for me because I couldn't get my brain to get the words from my head to my hand. But that was considered
And if anybody wants proof of concept, look at that chicken scratch. So yeah. But no, it's not a. But what I really want to focus on is depression, anxiety, and bipolar. The three things. Now, I don't know too much about bipolar. I didn't know if Motor said he was bipolar, which I do believe he did. Didn't he, Beast?
I don't recollect. I'm not gonna say
I
one
know
way or the
he did
other
say
because I don't
that
remember.
he does have anxiety. He does
Yeah.
have depression.
Yeah, I do know those two. Yeah.
Now, I've always seen Motor as a chippy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's typically a happy person, so I don't see where the depression comes in at.
I mean, unless he's really good at wearing a mask, but
But I mean, if he's saying he has depression and anxiety to fit in, that's not something you wanna. It's not something you want. Not to be on
well,
medication for the rest of your life.
here's the thing. How old is Motor?
Motor's 27.
27.
Okay, so he's 27. So no, I don't think, cause like most of the time the reason why it like gets skipped over when people are like teenagers and stuff like that is because, and I was one of them. We're really good at hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, but like any mask, like it starts cracking. Like that's why I am the like literal emotional wreck I am today, is because I hid it for so long and I kept it like bottled up inside of me, and I like let it out on myself, which is why I have as many scars as I do. But I cracked. Like I could no longer hide the fact that I was getting sad for no reason, or that I was panicking, or that like my anxiety got so bad that like if a plane flew overhead, I became paralyzed in fear. Like if I could hear it, I could not move. Like that's really hard to hide. Like when you hide it for so long, it explodes.
Oh, and like and it explodes drastically.
Yeah.
But no, I mean being on medication for the rest of your life, it's not something to be proud about. Because the thing that comes with taking these type of medications, is you can't have alcohol.
You get nausea. It can affect your sleeping patterns. It can give you not lucid. It can give you vivid dreams. It can affect your reproductive organs. It can affect the way you think. It affects your sex drive. It can affect your skin tone. It can affect your teeth. It can affect your hair growth. There's just a nice long
But,
list.
and I know I'm pretty sure my audience doesn't want to hear this, but I'm kind of glad I'm taking this shit at night because it kills my damn sex drive at night. Did you take your butt out, Beast?
No, I was fixing it.
Oh, you look like you're about ready to go to bed.
Oh no, I'm just chilling.
I know you are, babe. But no, I'm glad that I do take that medicine at night because then I can actually get some fucking sleep and I'm not jacking off 24/7.
Hi, I am Tara when I do not approve this message.
Well, masturbation is a natural thing.
You completely missed I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay, babe. So, but yeah, no, I mean, like like you said, it can affect your sex drive. In most cases, antidepressants and even bipolar medication will kill your sex drive.
Yep, completely.
But I think that really depends on the dosage they give you too.
It depends on the dosage. It depends on like the first year. Okay, so I've been on an anti-anxiety antidepressant like combination medication for God, I'm going on 4 years now.
No,
And
I mean, it's not something to be proud of, but it's also not something to be ashamed of either because you
no,
didn't ask to be this way.
no.
Right.
So in the first, since we're already talking with Bill's sex drives, in the first year and a half, I had no sex drive whatsoever.
Yeah, which you know,
None.
Go ahead.
Like zero. Like there was. Okay, I need to put the pins back on this thing. But like zero. Like it.
There's her OCPD.
No, it's just the fact that it's like waving everywhere. Actually, I took the pins off to alleviate some of the pressure, but that's irrelevant.
I don't know. But no, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Well, I was actually gonna get into something else, but also for the first year and a half, I was extremely nauseous. I was a lot quicker to anger, which I'm still really quick to anger. I did not used to be this quick to anger, and it is actually a side effect of the medication that I'm taking that it can increase how angry you are.
Yeah, which is why I try to walk on eggshells around you.
I walk on eggshells around you too. We're apparently living in a chicken farm. But it greatly affected my sleeping pattern. Like, I already had a really hard time sleeping, but they made it a lot worse. There's also like they can also like affect your weight gain or like whatever. Like I think when I first started taking them, in like 2 weeks I lost about 20 pounds. They're also the reason I don't get hungry. Like
Yeah. So to speak,
sometimes like the pros and the cons that they're right here for me. They're pretty level. Like its side effects and what it does, like the side effects don't outweigh what it's supposed to do and what it does, but it's definitely not overly pleasant. I don't enjoy taking a handful of medication every night, but
yeah.
I don't think anyone would.
No, I mean even taking the one at night is enough for me because I don't even I don't like being on medication. But if it keeps my mood stable, then yeah, I will do it.
Yeah.
If it keeps me from hurting myself or the loved ones around me, then yeah, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because and I'm gonna tell you something that I've experienced with both these medications. Prozac, what is this? Yeah, Prozac or fluoxetine, antidepressant, and this is a mood stabilizer. It's essentially what ziprasidone is. It's a mood stabilizer. And within the first week of taking it, your mood, your emotions, right here, your level.
Yep.
You can't smile, you can't laugh, you can't feel happy, you can't feel sad.
Yep.
It'll change though the more you adjust to them, but
yeah, well, you get used to them, but
yeah,
it's the adjustment period.
The adjustment period, like for the first week, you can ask Beast.
Yeah.
My emotion, like I'm currently well adjusted to my medicine now because I've been taking it for a little over almost 2 weeks now, so I'm pretty much adjusted to it. But you can ask Beast. Within the first week of me taking this medication, I had no emotions.
Oh yeah, I remember I was the one who told you that was probably going to be one of the side effects because that's how my Zoloft was. I knew that Prozac and Zoloft kind of go hand in hand. They're just one.
Yeah.
It's pretty much one goes more towards one thing, and the other one goes towards another thing, but they're basically the same prescription.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly how I was when I first started too. It was just I didn't give a shit about shit. Basically, it was like.
But the pros for me of taking these two medications is that my mood doesn't drastically change like it.
Yeah.
I don't like go from manic highs to depressive lows as much. It's still there, but it's manageable. And I think that's one thing that Beast and Tara has noticed since I've been on this medication. Is that I've been getting a lot of, put it this way. I used to be the guy that would start fights and tackle. Well, I still do that every now and then. I troll people and I don't really attack them per se. But I've been so generous. I've forgiven a lot of people. Kyle, I've forgiven Shippo. I was like, I can't keep doing this. It's fucking with my health. It's fucking with my mental state of mind.
Mhm.
Like, dude, we gotta just let this shit go. And you know
Yep.
what? We've been cool ever since that. And that's if you want to know why there have been many videos made on Shippo, is because we came to an agreement. I'm slowly trying to change myself for the good. All the people that we talk shit to, I've forgiven half of them. The other ones I don't really care for. Besides the point. Amber, for example, I've forgiven her. I don't talk to her much anymore, but I've forgiven her. Yeah, I told Taro the other what was it? When was it, babe, that I told you I'd miss Lucifer?
Uh, but I don't know, Monday.
Yeah. Like I miss talking to her, I miss having her company there. But sometimes you just gotta move on.
Yep.
You really do. But so all you people out there, stop claiming that you have all this shit if you haven't been diagnosed yet. Because when you claim this stuff, it makes it harder for people like me to get the help I actually need.
Mhm.
And to all the people who ask somebody why they're depressed, depression doesn't have a specific cause. It's recognized as a mental disorder.
Yep.
Like Shippo, and then Shippo, I know you're gonna watch this, so don't take this as me bad mouthing you or anything, but I'm just gonna use what you said as an example. It's like you said, why are you bipolar? It's like bipolar doesn't have a cause, it's a root mental disorder. The root cause of it is a mental disorder.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like a specific cause.
Yep.
And Taro, before I even like got diagnosed, she could tell that I had depression. She said me having bipolar was very fucking obvious. And panic attacks, they're no fun.
No, they really aren't.
The night that that she finally told me the truth about what her ex had did, I literally I went into a panic attack and I hung up the call and sort of couldn't breathe and she called me back and then she could tell that I was on a full-fledged panic attack.
Hmm.
And I should talk on this because I have a fear of losing Taro. I really do. So the other night I thought I was going to lose her. Not like lose her in death, obviously. But I again went into panic attack. It's not fun. Feels like your heart's beating out of your fucking chest. You can't. You're like your chest tightens up. You can't breathe. You can't talk.
Probably this is still probably the worst panic attack I've ever had, and I'm gonna go to a lighter note here. So I ate a pot brownie,
No.
and my previous experience with edibles had not been great. I tripped really hard, but I ate a pot brownie. I was just like, okay, cool. I laid on the couch, and my ex, who was my boyfriend at the time, called me. He was really pissed off about work, and he said something, and I just started laughing. Like, I was like, I couldn't move. I physically couldn't move. Oh no, he didn't say anything. I knocked the plate off the couch and it like fell on the
Oh.
floor and shattered. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And he's like, wow, you're like laughing at me. He like hung up on me and I still had the phone pressed to my face and like a video was playing. And I realized I couldn't move. And my roommate is laying on like an opposite couch because we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. He had the living room and we had the bedroom.
Mhm.
He's laying on the couch, he's passed out, and I'm like trying to scream for help. Like in my head, I'm screaming his name, and there's like no sound. I just keep, like I'm trying to move, and I just keep panicking, and I'm panicking, and like finally, this like I sounded like a dying cat.
Oh gosh.
This just gurgled, like screeching noise came out of my mouth. And he finally figured out, holy shit, she's freaking out. Like, I know I couldn't move. It was like a full body high.
Mhm.
But I experienced sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Which
No,
is
you
not
saw.
great either, which I've learned to not try to move because you do make yourself panic. You just kind of have to let it go. But it felt like I was awake in full sleep paralysis, and I could not move, and it was just so terrifying, and I legitimately thought I was going to die. I'm like, he's not gonna wake
Oh.
up. Lucas is mad at me. Like, he's just gonna fucking ignore me and go to bed. Like, I'm actually gonna die.
Oh wow.
Needless to say, I don't eat pot anymore.
Mm-hmm. We don't even do pot anymore.
No, because it makes me paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
Nice.
I thought I'd lighten it up.
It
Yeah.
did. It did at the same time. It was a funnily morbid story.
Yeah, right.
I was like, wait, you just ate a pot brownie? Like, oh, fuck.
No, I did not. No, God, no.
I was about to say. But, no, I think we pretty much touched bases here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We went far and beyond with it, to be honest.
yeah.
And I'm sorry if you guys got triggered at any point. This was not my intention. But, it's always good. Yeah, I'm going to leave it on this note. It's always good to hear other people's stories.
Yeah. Perspective is nice to get another person's.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's nice to know that you're not the only crazy out there in the world.
Well, that too.
But anyways, guys, this is the Minted Caliber S13 the Beast and S13 Tarot signing out.
Wee.